world's a weird place, and sometimes people collect a bunch of items that the rest of us think of as unusual and strange, and that is exactly what we are talking about today. Hair, toenails, gum, and a couple less disgusting things along the way. Here are the top 10 mysterious collections that strange people have. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have hair. Out of context, this is one collection that would likely warrant a call to the police, but I guess everyone's apparently vetted this guy and he's good, so we're sticking with that. John Resnikoff is a Guinness World Record holder for having not only the largest, but the most valuable collection of celebrity hair. Yeah, see what I mean? It's kind of weird, but everyone says it's okay, so what am I to do? Apparently these strands are all collected in the most normal way possible, buying them at an auction. The collection includes locks from Abraham Lincoln, Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, and even Beethoven, which is wild. Apparently the idea for his collection came from the Victorian era, which he says is where collecting strands of hair was like collecting autographs. I don't know how to tell him, but it is no longer like the Victorian era, and those two things are extremely dissimilar now. He does admit and acknowledge that his hobby is a bit creepy though, so at least he's self-aware. In our number 9 spot today we have fluff. Okay, I hate this one as much as you're going to, so buckle up folks. At 22.1 grams, Graham Barker has the largest collection of belly button fluff. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say that if you only had 1 gram of belly button fluff stuck in a jar, he probably would still have the largest collection, because who collects belly button fluff? I guess Graham. The collection started in 1984, and apparently it just started because he was wondering how much belly button lint a person produces in their life. Okay, I probably would have asked the question and then moved on with my life, but hey, I guess if no one ever tried to get the answers to their weird questions, where would we be? The good news is that at least it's his own fluff. You can pick your friends and you can pick your belly button, but you can't pick your friend's belly button. In our number 8 spot today we have Dalmatians. Karen Ferrier is obsessed with Dalmatians, which is exactly why she has a collection of over 3,500 spotty little items. Alright Cruella de Vil, I've seen this movie about 101 times. She even got her car painted with the pattern, which truly is a commitment. It seems as though her love for the print started with her dog, Ditto, who Karen says went everywhere with her. Unfortunately, when Karen split with her husband, she was forced to downsize her home, which then left her needing to downsize her collection as well. She wanted to make sure that all of the items found a good home, because not only did she take exceptional care of all of the items, but she also very much cares about them as well. In our number 7 spot today we have the gumball. Barry Chappell was on a plane one day and realized that his hankering for a cigarette wasn't going anywhere soon, so he began chewing nicotine gum. From here, he had this super random idea to start sticking all of his already chewed gum together in one big gumball. I could not tell you the reason behind this no matter how hard I try, because what could matter when you're just sticking a bunch of pieces of already chewed gum together? 6 years later, Barry's gumball was sitting at 95,200 pieces of gum. I did the math and that's like an average of 43.5 pieces a day, which leads me to ask the question, were other people's gum also added to this ball? And if not, how did you manage to chew almost 50 pieces of gum every day for 6 years, and does your dentist hate you? At the end of the day, this horrible masterpiece has landed Barry in the world of non-smoking, which is always something to be celebrated. I'll forgive the weird side project because of that stellar achievement, but I certainly won't ever forget it, unfortunately. In our number 6 spot today we have love dolls. Love dolls, hanky-panky dolls, wink-wink nudge-nudge dolls, you get it. Whatever you want to call them, this collection is super f***ing weird. I put a swear in there because what else am I supposed to say? This collection is super weird. Bob and Lizzie Gibbons are a couple who share their home with their bizarre collection of 240 of these dolls. I have so many questions, but I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't want any of them answered. It is said that this collection costs around $100,000, and the couple will even dress the dolls up and take them for photo shoots or even to the mountains. Apparently Bob has said that the collection started when he just wanted to see how lifelike he could make a doll become. That is what led him to making his own doll, but everything changed when he bought the first one from the store. Both Bob and Lizzie swear that the dolls they own are not used for their intended purpose, and to that I say, regardless of whatever the truth is, I'd like to stick to this story. In our number 5 spot today we have barf bags. Thankfully not the used kind. Nick Vermeulen of the Netherlands built up the world's largest collection of barf bags from different airlines. The collection includes over 3,700 bags from 800 different airlines, and it also includes 10,000 spare bags because, I mean, you never know when someone's gonna throw up. Gotta be prepared for all scenarios all the time. Since 1986, Nick has held the world record, and that makes a lot of sense because his collection is obviously quite impressive, and there is literally no one else who's collecting airline barf bags. Apparently this idea just sprung upon him one flight when he was using one of the bags to jot down some notes. From there, his collection has grown from his own flights and through the donations of others as well from their own travels. That is actually kind of cool, and while it's a strange memento, it still commemorates a trip. The coolest bag in his collection is by far the air sickness bag from the NASA Space Shuttle Columbia. That bag has spent 16 days in space, which is more than a lot of us can say. Honestly, maybe this collection is cooler than I thought. In our number 4 spot today we have toothbrushes. If you have a fear of the dentist, this is one collection you'll probably want to stay away from. Grigory Fletcher from Russia holds the Guinness World Record for having the largest collection of toothbrushes. He's held this title since 2008 with his collection of over 1,320 different brushes. I hope he has the freshest breath any of us have ever seen, and I hope he didn't meet that nicotine chewing gum guy. I don't know why he started this collection or what drew him to his love of toothbrushes, but maybe the guy is just really into dental hygiene. I wonder how much floss he has. Maybe he doesn't floss at all. Mr. Toothbrush Man might just be full of mysteries. In our number 3 spot today we have talking clocks. Okay, now we have arrived at the most annoying collection on this entire list, talking clocks. Mark McKinley of Ohio has an impressive collection of 954 talking clocks, but if you were to visit his home, you would have absolutely no idea what time it was unless you brought your own. He of course has them all set to different times because if they all matched up, there would just be one unbelievable loud cacophony of clocks for a few seconds a couple of times a day. This way, with all of them set differently, he can instead be annoyed multiple times throughout the day instead of just one or two. Mark says it's like living by the railway tracks, you just get used to them. And to that I say, well Mark, the tracks aren't inside of my house, so I simply just don't think I will. Although I don't understand the collection, it's actually very impressive, and it includes some extremely interesting clocks, including one from 1911 that is considered to be the first talking clock that was ever produced. In our number 2 spot today we have Super Soakers. Okay, this one is kind of weird, but it's also kinda sick. Chris Reed is a man with an unbelievable collection of Super Soaker water guns. I'm not even making this up. The collection includes about 340 different Super Soakers, and the very first of his collection, the green and yellow 50, has been signed by the inventor of the Super Soaker. Chris also has the most organized collection I've ever seen, as he will frequently line up all of the Super Soakers to take photos of his collection, and there's also an Excel list of all of the kinds, brands, and colors of them that he has. Honestly, this guy is living the dream of every child in the most adult way possible. It's absolutely hilarious. I personally love this collection. Like, what about having a collection of pure summertime fun could be bad? I'm just saying, the guy's probably pretty cool. In our number 1 spot today we have toenails. Okay, not like the full nail, thank God, because that would for sure be some serial killer level stuff, but it's still clippings and I absolutely hate that. This collection is of toenail clippings, and while it's definitely up there on the grossest of all of the collections, there luckily is a reason behind it that makes it a little less horrifying and more hilarious? For 5 years, a man named Mark Calderaro collected every nail clipping of his in a little jar, and it all started one night at a friend Tom's apartment. Basically, Tom had explained that 60 years ago, his grandfather was in Germany and his sister was in America. Shipping packages used to be a way bigger deal, so when his sister would get one from her brother, she'd invite people over and have like an opening party to see what was inside. So one day she was super stoked to open a box she received, and imagine her horror when she opened it and realized it was nothing but nail clippings inside. While she's having the worst day ever, her brother is dying laughing from across the ocean. This story made Mark laugh so hard that he decided that one day he would do the same thing to Tom. And he did. Honestly, I guess this one is just a lesson on committing to the bit. Comedy 101, folks. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thank you so much for checking it out. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed it, and if you're looking for a part 2, let us know in the comments. There's a lot of weird collections out there. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!